I think it's the best time to start approaching investors when the founders have had their first initial customers, their post-revenue. Now, the size of their revenue, monthly recurring revenue, doesn't really matter at this point, but at least they have that monthly recurring revenue. Why? So that they can build a serious financial model. But once you have your first customer, you need to start building your financial model so that you understand the levels that are influencing your business. And when you talk to an investor, you actually don't need a deck. You just need your financial model with real numbers that you have, and projected numbers that are implied based on your current metrics, and it's easier to raise them. So I think founders need to focus just on revenue, building the product that delivers the core value, and then once they have that initial traction, then they can worry about pitching investors.
So for people who are interested in raising funds, I think the best time is when you launch it, or at least have something tangible that you can say, this is what I have in place. And the reason, in my opinion, is that in Africa, we do not get the luxury of just writing an idea on a napkin and getting money thrown at you. Here in Africa, you kind of need to show proof.
Investors are not just there for the money, they are there for the support network, their professional mentorship that is necessary for you to develop your project. And as a founder, when you start developing your project, you realize that you need mentorship in different areas. So looking for investors in those areas where you particularly need help from is very important.
When it comes to being comfortable pitching in front of investors, I think again is being authentic and being truthful. So if I know I have the information you're looking for in a concise manner and can communicate it easily, it's easy to be comfortable. But if there's something that you're hiding or it's not too transparent, then you wouldn't be comfortable for the pitch. So for me, like I said, you can invite me for investor pitch. I'll tell you right now, I'm not investor ready, but I'll pitch anyway. And then you tell me what I can improve so that when I am ready, I know how to pitch to a proper investor. So again, it's also good to practice before you get there. But just because you have the opportunity, that's not mean you should grab it if you're not ready.
And developing our pitch to investors by first understanding what made us different. And I think this was a challenge in the beginning. There are very many fintechs, there are very many digital banks, which is what we are. So it's the idea that investors receive a high quantity of pitches that are very similar to yours, but there are very few differentiators. And the third thing was building confidence. When we were sure that our value proposition and our differentiators were quite unique, we were confident when we were approaching investors.
I'm repeating this multiple times because most founders, it's good. It's actually useful. Like, don't worry about the financial model when you're starting out. We go to customers. If you have a WhatsApp group, you can get customers. Doesn't matter.
Personally, I advise that you would get a better deal if you already have built your product, at least the MVP, and gotten your first set of customers who are testing the product, and you can show that traction. Then it would be a lot easier for you to raise capital.
I always say to myself and to my team, a no is always a not yet. It's never a definitive answer, so don't let it disappoint you. And as a founder, I also want to advise other founders, it's a two-way relationship. So you should really vet the VCs before pitching, and you need to make sure that they're giving you smart money, which means they're going to be involved in your journey post-investment, because you always need the mentorship, the support, and the advisory roles of VCs as well.
Becoming comfortable to pitching to investors is something that I'm also looking forward to. I haven't attained that level of comfort to pitch in front of thousands of people, but I've definitely become better over the years, and I've improved and honed my skills during all this time of running Keiko. But what I would say is, I practice, I I get in front of people, I tell them what we're doing, I repeat it, I don't get tired of my own voice. So this is something that I've learned that, with practice, become perfect.
I don't think nothing should be too scripted or thought out, as long as you know what you're building. And I think for me, what I was doing was something that was personal, that I really felt comfortable in. So going up to an investor and talking about it, I think was a great way that I broke the ice, just started to build a relationship. And I think that's a really important thing to do, because they deal with so many startups pitching to them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, oftentimes. So when you come to them and you give that personality, they get to know who the founder is, why you're doing the work you're doing, and why you're there talking to them really stands out to many investors as well.